Imagine a world where every thought, every decision, every piece of knowledge is reduced to ones and zeros. In 1994, Theodore Roszak sat down to expose a culture hypnotized by the endless flow of digital information. But here's the twist. What if this worship of data is blinding us to what truly matters? Our human connections, our critical thinking, our very sanity. What is lost in the cult of information? Let's peel back the layers. We casually toss around information like it's the same as understanding. But Roszak pulls no punches. He makes us ask, where's the wisdom in our digital overload? At MIT in the early 90s, computer scientists celebrated the speed and volume of data processing. But critics warned that raw data alone couldn't solve complex human problems. Roszak tells the story of Joseph Weizenbaum, an MIT professor who saw this firsthand. He created ELIZA, an early AI that mimicked conversation, only to discover that meaningful human understanding couldn't be coded into scripts or algorithms. Think of information like a wildfire racing through a parched forest, spreading fast, uncontainable, but ultimately destructive if left unchecked. Technology fans often imagine more data means better knowledge, but in truth, this flood blurs clarity, burns out critical reflection, drowning us in noise we mistake for insight. Here's the kicker: transforming data into genuine understanding demands human judgment. The triumph isn't just the technology itself, but our ability to resist blind worship of information, to keep questioning, feeling, and connecting. Roszak reminds us that wisdom lives in the messy, imperfect human mind, not the perfect digital stream. Roszak doesn't just focus on tech's external impact, he's obsessed with how computers hijack our minds. Ever felt your brain rewired by the screen? Here, why that's more than coincidence. Roszak illustrates this with Silicon Valley's early culture, the myth that computers are neutral tools, simply delivering data. Yet programmers noticed something else, a shift in thinking patterns shaped by binary logic and linear processes. It's like your brain starts speaking the computer's language. Yes, no, 0, 1, right, wrong, reducing complex feelings and ethical gray zones. Picture technology as an invisible puppeteer pulling strings inside your mind. This isn't just metaphor. Roszak argues technology fashions our psychic habits. Just as a river carves a canyon over time, repeated use of digital tools carves grooves into how you perceive reality, often shrinking empathy and complexity. But here's the liberating twist. Awareness of this trap means you can choose your mental diet. Like resisting fast food for fresh meals, you can reclaim your mental autonomy by balancing digital with face-to-face, nuance, and reflection. Roszak dares us to pull back the curtain on this mental puppet show. Beyond minds, Roszak tracks technology's ripple effects through our social lives and politics. When information becomes a cult, what happens to community? Roszak draws a striking picture of people drowning in emails, data streams, and online chatter yet feeling profoundly alone. The paradox: technology connects us instantly but fragments community. He quotes early adopters who realized that replacing in-person conversations with screens created a psychic distance that no bandwidth could bridge. He also warns political thinkers. A culture obsessed with raw data often struggles with democracy. When digitized information becomes the sole authority, nuance, dissent, and moral debate gets squeezed out, leaving technocratic elites making decisions behind algorithmic curtains. It's a sobering reminder that data can depoliticize and dehumanize. The hopeful, sticky insight? Roszak calls for ecology of technology, a balance where tools serve humans, not the other way around. Building human bonds requires slowing down, face-to-face encounters, and skepticism of the digital gospel. In other words, the cure to alienation isn't just less tech, it's radically more presence. Remember that scene from MIT? It's not just a tech cautionary tale, it's a wake-up call. The cult of information is an invitation to question, resist, and rethink our digital obsession. So next time you're tempted to dive headfirst into the data deluge, pause, try this, unplug for 30 minutes and actually talk to someone face-to-face. You'll rediscover the messy, beautiful human side of knowledge that no computer can replace. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.